and welcome back to another book, Snippets and Reflections. Today I'll talk about a lesson that I got from Jordan B Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. He's a Canadian clinical psychologist, and I think many people know him from this famous controversial video when he was confronted by an LGBTIQ plus community. But I'm not going to go there. In this book, I see his character as someone who is figuring out the complexities of life and the struggles of his own psyche, and through that eventually he looks at the issues of the betterment of society. But the latter is never detached from the former with Peterson, and that is what I reckon as something that distinguishes him from other political activists or intellectuals. Not the matters of conservative or liberal or left or right, but his deep-rooted analysis of individual humans and the problems of individual humans that ultimately constitutes whatever society there is. Like Carl Jung once said, right? No tree can grow to heaven unless its roots reaches down to hell. His ideas and approach are not so abstracted that it tends towards utopia, but it's also not so particularized that it loses sight of the bigger picture. And that is also a lesson that I got that I'll talk about today in this video. Many of us feel like life is meaningless, whether it be because we do 9 to 5 corporate jobs that we feel like it's just a routine, or whether we're studying something that we're not so passionate about, not feeling like what they do is worth something. At least I do feel like that sometimes, more often than not. So in my pursuit of meaning, I simply, every opportunity that arises, I take them. Anything to justify my existence, like Freud said. But Peterson's rule number 7 says, pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. What does this mean? My approach to reflect on this concept will involve 3 juxtapositions, all of which Peterson has ruled against. I have been guilty of indulging in. The rules are not immediate gratification, but rather delay of gratification, which means we fight for not the presumed best, but rather for the better. And that demands, first and foremost, a defeat of our self-consciousness for self-sacrifice. So what does all this mean? So first of all, Peterson addressed what might cause our survival mode approach to life and just what the hell am I doing with my life mentality? And that is what he called an internal critical voice. This voice within us extensively points at the weakest aspects of our lives. It can be something as trivial as, like when I was reading this book, trying so hard to win the respect of a particular person. And this internal critical voice expounds that problem and makes it as if it's something so important that it becomes the only thing that could make us feel worth something. We become obsessed with our self-consciousness, and we can't sacrifice this for the pursuit of something better. We can't let go. Our conscience has been distorted to presume that that one thing is the ultimate good. And the fucking worst thing is this makes us believe that no matter how thriving or how good or how loved we are in other things, we are worthless unless we thrive in this one thing, or we are loved and respected by this one person. This short-sighted bias is masked within the popular narratives of self-driven or eye of a tiger, of pursue your goal, and all of those other motivational bull. What I'm trying to convey is deep-rooted problems like this could be sly and sneaky. At the end of the day, my strive for the presumed best, my constant focus, critical focus on my weakest points of my life, cost me my duty and my strive for the better every day. So the strive for the presumed best will most likely reward you with immediate insecurities. And letting that go for the strive for just simply something better in your life will reward you with, slowly but surely, a better you. Peterson said, people who endeavors heaven makes the greatest sacrifice of self and everything they presume to love most, to live a life aimed at the good. In fact, Perhaps this wasn't a sacrifice at all, because what I gained at the end of the day is something rather than nothing. I realized that all I had sacrificed was my insecurity. When I give up my craving for immediate gratification, my expedient, ignorant response of my own vulnerability, I'm confronted with a new veritable pursuit in the delay of gratification. Stop holding on to what is currently most valued. Try fixing one defect of your life, one day at a time. Even if it only contributes to 1% of your betterment. In 100 days, you'll become twice the better person you are today. 100%.